Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Harsh Saita. You're watching BQ Prime. We are in the thick of earnings and we have the management of TeamLease with us. We have with us today Ramani Dathi, who is the CFO at TeamLease, to try and help us or give us more context with regard to both numbers as well as hiring trends in the industry. Thank you, firstly, so much, ma'am, for joining us. Let me first take it straight to the numbers itself. You saw 16% top line growth. What are the larger trends that you're seeing, and what do you think will be the overall growth with regard to what TeamLease will clock for FY24? What's the sense like at the moment?
Yes. So except for IT industry, we are seeing hiring kind of firing across all verticals, be it BFSI, consumer, retail, pharma. So we are seeing much better hiring trends. In fact, post-COVID, this is the best year in terms of headcount addition for contract staffing. And looks like this trend would continue for at least few more quarters as well. As far as IT is concerned, there is total uncertainty. We don't have any visibility in terms of when will the recovery start happening. The only silver lining is GCCs and captives are hiring better than IT services, but they don't drive the volume. So in fact, that's one reason why our YOY growth is only 16%. Otherwise, we would have already been at 20% by half year mark. However, on a full year basis, with non-IT hiring doing very well, we are confident that the revenue growth by end of this year will be able to manage with 20% YOY.
Right. And, from the context of things, you spoke about IT, but talk to us about BFSI as well as about consumer, because that's where you're seeing good traction as well. You're also expecting good growth to come in within the larger FMCG basket as well as telecom, manufacturing. So what's leading to this positivity in some of these sectors from the management of TeamLease?
See, one is across all these sectors, there is an organic growth that is happening because of the domestic consumption and overall improvement. In addition to that, the formalization drive is also helping us to get more open positions for organized staffing companies, because some of these are not new jobs that are getting created. So these jobs are earlier with small informal players, but now all these companies across BFSI, FMCG, FMCD, so they're all focusing to move their workforce, be it full-time or contract, all of them, to move them to organized players like TeamLease. So that formalization drive is also helping this kind of growth. And in terms of profiles, if I take right now the largest one on demand are the sales profiles, be it credit card sales in BFSI, collection agents, follow-ups, customer service. And in retail and consumer, it's typically the in-shop sales people and also customer service executives, e-commerce delivery partners, logistics. So those are the profiles which are on demand.
Right. And give us some insight with regard to margins. Some commentary seems to suggest that you are expecting, or you're quite positive with regard to how margins will shape up. Your EBITDA is expected to go up by 5 to 6% sequentially. So a couple of questions here. Want to understand, one, what is driving this positivity on margins? And second is, for how long can this 5 to 6% sequential uptick in margins be expected? Where will it start to taper? And when will it start to taper, rather?
Yes. So for us, it's mainly three drivers of margin expansion. One is purely scale, because our business has huge scope for operating leverage. Scale itself will contribute to productivity and margin expansion. Second aspect is we have taken cost optimization drivers across the company. And we have mentioned in Q4 of last year that we will be kind of locking our core costs and headcount for next 6 to 8 quarters. So we have managed to achieve that goal. In fact, we have managed to rationalize and bring down costs further. We still have some more projects which will help us to bring down costs. So that will contribute to margin expansion. Third one is DA has now started contributing positively on the margins. Our degree apprenticeship business for last 4 quarters. So it's been bleeding because of withdrawal of the NEEM scheme. So wherein we have to let go close to 40,000 headcount. Under that program. So now that it has come down to a very bare minimum level, the net growth has started becoming positive and contributing to the margin. So these three put together will help us expand margins. Quarter on quarter, we are expecting 5% will be the profit expansion. And at what point it will kind of taper down? At this point in time, I don't have any specific timeline or number because we still have scope for huge margin expansion. Our peak was 2.2% EBITDA margins. We are still at only 1.4%. So the immediate target is to go back to the 2% plus levels.
Right. And you spoke about NEEM. Let me try and get some context with regard to both NPS as well as WILP. What is the kind of traction you're seeing there? What are the kind of trends and what is the kind of differentiator that you're trying to clock on those couple of schemes or programs?
No, India is very underinvested in the aspect of apprenticeship because if you take any of European countries or Singapore, so almost 8 to 10% of the working population are under some sort of vocational training or apprenticeship program. And one of the challenges that we have in the country right now, especially at entry-level jobs, is the skill gap. So apprenticeship is the perfect solution wherein employees can get upskilled and this also gives the opportunity to do a test drive with the entry-level employees, take them as apprentices for a year or two, also give them some connectivity on work-integrated degree programs and learning programs. So this is the product which we are taking aggressively to, all industries, but with a higher focus on manufacturing, engineering, industrial, those segments, because this would be a perfect fit for the industries where they need on-the-job training for at least 6 to 12 months period. So right now we have two main programs under our DA business. One is NAPS, which is under the Apprenticeship Act, and the second one is Work Integrated Learning Programs. So we are getting equal traction for both the programs. So the Work Integrated Learning Programs, we are also upselling to our staffing customers because it's not just for apprentices, even for contract employees. So this WILP can be taken as a learning program for upskilling of contract employees.
Right. And, we've spoken about sector-centric trends that are playing out. Talk to us about the more holistic, hiring trends that are playing out, not just sector-specific. What is the kind of graduates that are coming through and not getting jobs? What is the kind of environment there? Also, with regard to tier 1 versus tier 2 and tier 3, what are the kind of hiring trends as well as what is the kind of employment metrics that you are looking at or what kind of feel are you getting?
Yeah. No, we keep saying this statement that India doesn't have a jobs problem but a wages problem. So anyone can get a job in India if they are willing to take it up at 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 salary. That's not the real wage, right? So the main challenge is in getting the right salaries for these people, qualified people, and get them at the right skill set. So that gap is where the main challenge is. And also, as you have rightly mentioned, a lot of new jobs are getting created in tier 2, tier 3 places now, whereas the candidates are still preferring only in tier 1 cities because of various reasons, infrastructure and also other reasons. But we believe in the coming quarters, more and more formal jobs will also start getting created at tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, because this is to manage attrition, manage productivity, and also to manage costs. More and more corporates are giving us hiring positions, open positions in tier 2 and tier 3 places. In terms of split, we have seen a substantial improvement in graduate hiring over the last 5 years. Like if I just take our own data 5 years back, only 55% of our contract employees were graduates. That number has now gone to almost 90%. Like whether the person is a delivery executive or is he a blue collar employee or a BFSI customer executive. So almost 90% of the profiles are all holding a graduate degree. And wherever they're not having the degree, we are also helping them with the WILP and degree apprenticeship kind of programs. So, and in terms of the hiring trends, every year we conduct a survey to get a sense of the sentiments across industry in terms of their preference to hire during that year or during that quarter. Compared to last year, we have seen an improvement of almost 15% in the intent to hire on average. Specifically in BFSI, pharma and consumer verticals, it has been almost like more than 20% compared to last year.
Right. Sounds good. My last question is with regard to tech, right? Can't leave out AI out of hiring at the moment. What are the kind of trends and what is your advice to the novice, the fresh graduate who is currently seeing a large disruption with regard to his role due to the advent of AI?
Yeah. Okay. So on this point, actually, I don't agree that AI will take away jobs because, I mean, we all thought the same when computers came in, that computers will take away some jobs. So with new technology, there'll always be new type of jobs, new roles that get created. So we believe the same with AI. Maybe it may kind of impact some jobs, maybe the calling activities, BPO kind of jobs, but it will also create new roles and a new set of jobs at entry level. And in fact, we are using AI in improving our matching for jobs between the open positions and candidate database. And that's also one of the reasons why our hiring numbers also have improved. And we will use AI more and more to ensure that the right candidates are taken for job. We are able to assess them well in terms of their skill needs and manage their productivity and attrition better.
Sure. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure interacting with you. That was, of course, the CFO of TeamLease, Ramani Dathi. And quickly, to try and sum this up, from a sectoral perspective, IT is still a bit of a drag. You're seeing good traction from banking, telecom, pharma, and the like, FMCG as well. But overall, they're expecting margins to go up by 5 to 6% sequentially, and therefore PAT also to grow by a similar quantum. So positive on TeamLease. That was the management of TeamLease for you, giving that context.
Wishing everyone a very happy Diwali. This is a year when India has done very well and is poised to do well for a long period of time. So hopefully this will be a truly prosperous Diwali for everyone.